JT. Again, as always, do me a favor, leave some comments, leave a like, subscribe to the podcast on all the platforms. Tap in with me, leave a message, give me some encouragement, give me some criticism. I'm all with it, trying to grow the brand, grow the logo, grow the information I give out to you guys, but also give the information out as far as grow the people who I connect you with. So this definitely podcast is a resource as well as an outlet for us to have share information and share space. So I need your help with that, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is episode, let's say 101 or episode 1, season 2, man. So I'm going on 101 episodes. I'm definitely excited to see what's going to happen today. Halftime of the finals. I'm dropping the websites opening up. You can buy merch, see the websites, see episodes. You can see events that's going on locally in Sacramento, other things I'm doing, people I'm networking with, all on the website. One-stop shop, man. So it'll be up halftime, game 1 of the finals. It's only right. You know what I'm saying? Only right. 94FeetWithCoachJT.com will be live and up. Grab some merch, support your boy. I appreciate it, man. Today's guest, known this gentleman for a while, did some business with him, connected him to a friend of ours. Shout out to Al, man, out here in Sacramento from the Bay Area. Al hooked me up with this gentleman years ago when I was getting uniforms for my program. A little bit about his brand, his business. Courtsmith basketball uniforms are created with high quality, superb design, and superior craftsmanship. The mission is to make their best looking team on every court, step on the court. So in which they do from basketball to AAU season, you know the brand, you know the designs, you can see the logo, you see the personalization. Whenever you see a Courtsmith on that jersey, they're one of the top shops in athletic program, performing everything for teams need, from uniforms, warm-ups, socks, compression socks, shooting shirts, much more. They provide high quality level in everything from backpacks, which I've purchased, socks, T-shirts. I don't even know, but I hooked up with them in 2017. Been rocking ever since. But none other than Court himself, man. Of course, Smith basketball brand uniforms. Appreciate you, Court, for stepping in, man, and taking time out your day, man.
Hey, appreciate you, man. What's the word?
Man, you already know, man. It's that season, off season, but it's always work, right? So always grinding, man, like you. I know this is a busy time for you as always, but it's year round now too, man. But before we get too much into the business of it, Court, for those listening, man, because I like to say though now, the podcast is growing in North California, so I got a lot of Bay Area people watching, SoCal. So with this, man, we're growing the brand and growing the market, but also, man, give me a little bit of information about yourself, man, with the upbringing, where you from, because I know it hasn't always been. I mean, it could be. We'll get to that point, man. But just the original, man. Where you from and what's up?
I grew up in East Oakland. That's where I'm from. A Bay Area kid. After around high school, I moved around a lot, so I got to touch the whole Bay Area damn near. So most of my years grew up was in East Oakland, and then around high school, I ventured up north. I went to high school in Fairfield, Army High, and then I just bounced around a lot. But that's my roots, man. You know, the latchkey kid, the key around my neck, single parent home. Mama raised me. Saying, you know, that a lot of kids in our culture are raised, and that's really, you know, that's really it. Kind of I share a lot of similar stories, and a lot of us that grew up in like the inner cities, and have those experiences, and that shape you to become who you are today. So that's I think some of the differences is that my younger days, when my parents were together, my dad, he was a hustler, and he had, he was always venturing into new entrepreneurship ventures, whether they worked or not. And, some of them worked, some of them didn't. But I at least I appreciated his thinking, and his willingness to put himself out there, take risks, try. Some people will be roasting him for something that didn't work, but then turn around, something do work. So, but he was never afraid to try. And I think that was where I got some of that. I got all of that from. And so he had a barbecue restaurant on 98th and East 14th in East Oakland when I was a kid. So I used to be in that restaurant all the time. And I think you pretty much can learn so many lessons just sitting in that restaurant in the middle of the hood, seeing different situations. It's like different movies every day. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that shaped me. But that's where I'm from.
That's what's up, man. That first off, I mean that mom son bond early is crucial. Yes, we do let pops to be around too, would be a plus, but nothing like that. And but also I believe in, especially the right males who get it, us trying to make it or provide or eventually know we're going to take care of our mothers mean a lot. It's a driving, it's something only internally you can have, right? But you're like, damn, one day I want to be able to give mom whatever she needs, or you know what I mean? It's just, you know, it's just like that's why we do fail sometimes to do stuff, but we try stuff to get to that bag quickly or that big bag, because we know, like, I just want to be able to take mom to chill out. I want her to be able to sit back and relax.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the best fuels for people like us. One of the best fuels, fire. It's a lot of fire in that. So I, you know, use that. I use that my whole life, you know, is wanting to give your mom a better life, you know. So if you grew up in them situations, like that definitely was a good fuel for me, and for sure a good fuel for you.
Just we talk about the relationship anyway. How was that though? Because you said you're having to move around, but again, now how did you personally cope with the shifting and moving from locations and schools? Because now it's like, you know, you might have set of friends here, you got to move again, can't control it. Mom said we got to go. But how did that? Were you a quick adapter to that, or were you like, oh damn man, again, mom? Like, how was that?
Yeah, it was like that. I was you know, financials wasn't there, so you living with people, you living with brothers, you living with family members just to help get on your feet on your way. So I think me as a kid, I adopted super early that I'm gonna be the man of this house at 9 years old. So I wasn't complaining. I was just trying to figure out how to make it work. So if, you know, I knew when you witness what your mom or your parents have to go through early on, and it gives you fresher perspective on like what's important and what's not. So you in survival mode. So at that point, you know, what I had to go through in school I wouldn't even bring that home because she had too much drama at the house anyway. So so I just knew the program. Like, all right, I'm gonna get into a fight first 3 days. Might as well just pick the rowdiest dude and just get it over with, because he gonna come find me anyway, because he gonna pick on me. Like I knew the formula, moving around so much, you know. The bully formulas, the friend formulas, so that it made me more introverted than I already was, but it also I learned how to adapt. You know what I'm saying? And most of that adaptation just came from just being quiet and sitting back and watching and observing.
Always reading the room,
you know
man.
What I'm saying?
Sitting
Reading
back
the
and looking
room
at everything.
made me really good at reading the room and not having to be the person always talking, and just sit back and chill and observe. You know,
that's what's up. How early on would you say? I mean, well, because before we get to the business part of it, you know what I'm saying, the aspects of sports, right? I mean, a lot of this it's your business evolves around sports. So how impactful, influential was sports in your life at an early age? Or when did you become one two with you, like connected with any sport?
So for me, like 1 to 11, I wasn't necessarily in the sport. I was all artists. So at an early age, I had an affinity for drawing pictures. I draw photos. I draw cartoon characters. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it wasn't no internet. It wasn't no apps. And, you know, if you wanted your favorite character and you didn't have the money to do it, you drew it.
You got to create
You know what I'm saying? You got to create it. So early on, I was just I just drew, and I had like real severe ADHD. Like I couldn't sit still and all that. So I had all these learning things. But when I drew, I get quiet and time would go fast. And that was my only thing that was like peaceful for me. And anything other than that, like I couldn't sit still. So that was a love for mine. Both my brothers played pro baseball. So they were athletes at the highest level. But I wasn't really interested in sports until I hit about 11 years old, and I touched the basketball. Man, I fell in love with that thing. I fell in love with basketball. To me, it's just a perfect self-expression of myself. Like whoever you are as a person, you know, you damn near can tell what kind of hooper they are by the kind of person they are. You know what I mean? And so, you know what I'm talking about. So, so once it was around 11 years old, but again, like I couldn't stay in one place anyway. You know, I got good I got good at basketball around 15, like good enough to where coaches was on my head. But it wasn't. I didn't have a lifestyle, and at the time too, it was like I was making bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Just I was influenced by the wrong crowd, so I didn't really know that you had to get good grades, and
Mm-hmm.
and it affected. So back then, it was you know playing hoop at the highest level is like if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you met you. Can I cuss on this, or
You
do I
good?
need to?
Yeah, you straight, baby. You
Right,
good.
like if you know, you know. If you
Nice.
don't know, you fuck.
Yeah.
So then, if you're a senior, you're like, oh shit, I got a 1.0 grade point average. It's like
Done.
that. You should have been doing all these prerequisite classes.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so that around that age is where I fell in love, like completely. Like my brother, came home from prison. One of my brothers came home from prison, and we would just go hoop, and he was good, and I was just fascinated by how good he was,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trash,
Mm-hmm.
and he had time on his hands because he was trying to get back on his feet. So we would just spend the whole summer him teaching me how to hoop, how to shoot, and it was on after that. Like I was addicted to it.
That's what's up. One of the quotes I heard too, somebody said, I can tell a lot about a player how you play by how you live. It was like, you know
Mm,
what I'm saying? But I can tell how you
mm-hmm.
live, how you play. Because some dudes who come from nothing or who they style of play is way different.
That's
You boys
true,
be
bro.
way aggressive. And it's just like
That's true.
it's eat or be eaten. You like, okay, this kid is hungry. Oh, I
Yep.
see how he living. I can drop a kid. I'm like, oh, I see why he got this in him. You know, he's trying
Right.
to get up out of here. He's trying to
Right.
make it. He ain't got too many
Absolutely.
resources, man. So that's what's up. Being from the Bay Area, I mean, shoot, y'all. I mean, outside of that area, it's a lot of people like legends in the world in the game. But who was some people you probably looked up to outside of your maybe just being your brother or anybody in the pro level, anybody locally like around that you was like, okay, look, I like his game. I want to be like him.
Allen Iverson, my idol to this day.
I watched
And
his
we
little
only
thing on YouTube the other day, man. AI is just crazy.
AI is my idol, and we only a month apart. But he's 1 month older than me, which
Uh,
is good because I liked Michael Jordan, but I didn't have an upbringing like him,
mm-hmm.
so I didn't have. To me, he was out of reach.
The structure
But
was different.
but when Allen Iverson came, it was like, oh, there's somebody like
That's
us
me.
who
Yeah,
came from where we come from, who still put his fangs in the game. You know what I mean? And made
for
a
sure.
mark on our culture and on the game. And of
Permanently.
course, he didn't make. He was learning in life as he went along too,
Mm-hmm.
just like the rest of us. But he's my goat. Like, and I know he didn't win no championships or nothing like that. But to me, just somebody you talking about rose from the concrete. Those people have
Mm-hmm.
a larger capacity because of where they came from.
Facts. Yeah, definitely. AI different. I mean, last impression, like I said, hair,
Yep.
tats, all that, arm sleeves, whatever. That
Yep.
swagger, the chains, like every
Yep.
athlete wanted to be
Yep.
AI. You know what I mean?
But I'll say before AI, I locked into Jamal Mashburn when he was in
Ugh.
college.
He was tough. He was
I
tough.
mastered that in and out
Hey, any
crossover.
crossover?
Yo, man. And so because it got
Monster
me so many
mash.
places, that monster mash, I mastered it.
Yeah.
And then that got me a lot of attention because I loved how he used to get to the bucket like that. So
Yep.
Jamal Mashburn was like a big influence on me too,
Tough.
in terms of like who I tried to pattern. Um,
Yeah,
performance.
his game was definitely tough, consistent too, grimy, just
Yep.
grime. You know what I mean? Not hecka pretty, just grimy, but he would get
Mm,
after it, man, for sure. So at what point? I mean, so actually no. So you already had the artistry pre-sports, right? So you already had the creative mindset. Going through
mhm.
high school, college, going through some ups and downs. At what point did you figure out or want to start to try to make this thing a reality for you as far as production? Like, I'm going to put this on a shirt, or I'm going to create this to sell for a product in your life after you had to eventually say and actually no, before that, when did you decide basketball was, I had to go ahead and let the actual playing part go? Because that's probably the toughest thing, or we got to realize that at an early age, I think.
I mean, it was really evident around the junior and senior year high school because I just the structure, and
Mhm.
I had made some bad decisions outside of that, so I knew it wasn't an option, but I loved it. I loved
Mhm.
basketball, and so people was telling me art is not, you can't make no money off of art, so you got to go get a job.
Mhm.
So I didn't go to college because I didn't qualify for any college. What I ended
Mhm.
up doing was I ended up getting a job like everybody else, and I got a 9 to 5 in Silicon Valley, and I was working that job, and I had a son. So once I had kids, then whatever I wanted to do went out the window, and I was trying to make a better life for them. So I ended up getting a job, and I was working that job maybe 7 years, 8 years in the game, and I was just like, damn, this is whack. I want to do more, and just I'm not good at I tried, but I'm not good at like code switching and all that. Like I'm not good at it. So I would always clash with people and supervisors and this, and so
it was destined to be your own boss. You had no choice.
I didn't know I was not I didn't know I had an entrepreneur mind at the time, but it was like all the signs was kicking up.
I'm telling you.
And so I did this. I was doing this little survey about like what are all your passions and all your loves, and I'm like, man, I love art, I love hip hop, I love basketball, And so they're like, well, if you can combine all three of them, what would you do? And I'm like, I would start a basketball brand. I would start a basketball brand, and that's so Courtsmith is my second basketball brand. So I started my first basketball brand in 2000. It was called YPA, Young Players Association.
Okay. Yeah.
And YPA, we that brand did well. And then we also had a street ball team associated with YPA. We had some great players, and we would travel all around the world with them and sell products. And we was in stores, and that was the first taste of entrepreneurship. I quit the job. What ended up happening was I was supposed to get a promotion, and my boss's boss brought in one of her partners for my promotion.
Over you though. Oh.
And so my ego was so crazy at the time. Her first day, I couldn't even stand looking at it. So I quit. I'm out. And so I'm like, I'm gonna start this YPA thing, and that's really how I started it. And YPA was a good eye opener for me in terms of what's possible. We had got a lot of players from Sacramento. Like back then, like now everybody knows Sacramento got hitters, but back in the early 2000s, they didn't. It wasn't as popular yet. So I went up there and got some cold.
Oh, yeah, that's when I graduated 2000. So it was live. It was thick out here, man.
So Roberto Young.
Oh yeah. Berto with the Highlands, I think.
Berto was our star player at YPA.
Yeah, I remember. I know Berto. Yeah.
He had hops in and
he was bouncing.
Dribble. So we and he grabbed a couple of his friends in Sac, and we took on a lot of different street ball groups and organizations around that time. And I got them all like jobs. I got them either overseas and one. Like that was the whole idea, was to get players just some shine.
Yeah.
And my intern at the time, the kid interning at our office, he interned for us for 2 years. When that company crashed, he moved to LA and started Ball Is Life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whole nother level now. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. So after the company crashed, I was just floating around. I didn't want to do it no more. I was done and was kind of bitter about hoop and in the industry and the game, and like I was just in my feelings about everything. So I started doing other stuff. I started designing for other brands. I started just venturing into other things in business, trying to make money. And then my son started hooping, and then he started like festering that love back into me. I started taking him to training, taking him to tournaments, and I would go to. This was like 2010, and we went to Reno. He was playing for the Oakland Rebels, and we're in Reno, that one huge Reno.
That Bigfoot, that Reno Memorial.
Yeah, I'm like, all these uniforms is trash. Yeah,
not the best quality up there. I mean, during that time for sure. With no style, with no swag,
nothing. I'm like, ain't nobody doing nothing. So that really was like the idea, and like the whole culture hadn't evolved yet. It wasn't no sub brands that was really in the like locked into the culture. So in 2 years later is when I decided to start Courtsmith.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Wasn't your first rodeo at it though, but this last time, what was the hardest thing about getting it off the ground again for you?
This one, I mean, it was my ego. I thought that I could hit the ground running because I had built a brand already.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, we built a decently successful brand, and with no social media. I had to make flyers, and we go pass out flyers to get people
Mm-hmm.
to fuck with our brand, and like we go bleed the block and do all kind of crazy stuff to get people to support and rock with us. And then so this time I thought I can use that traction to give me momentum to the next one. But like, when nobody fucking with me, like nobody cared.
Yeah.
Like, so I had to start out the trunk again, like one t-shirt at a time. A lot of times we expect, our past to speak for us, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times it don't. And then when it don't, you gotta be willing to start where you stand and start with the community that rocks with you, even if it's four
Yeah.
people.
Yep,
So
yep, for sure. I definitely learned that too, man. You gotta you're gonna lose more than you make early on anyway. You're gonna donate
yeah,
people to hook up, or you're gonna give away stuff just to get somebody wearing
yeah,
your stuff. You're gonna have to
yeah.
carry it around in your trunk or have it somewhere. Or you got, you know what I mean. So definitely understand
That's
that
what
for
I
sure.
did. And I mean, and I sometimes I don't like telling the story because it sounds hella cliche, but it's
Mm-hmm.
the truth. Like, it was $300. I spent $300 on some tank tops that said "basketball is everything,"
Mm-hmm.
and I posted it on Instagram, and it wasn't a lot of shirts, but I sold all the shirts. I told them to meet me at 24-hour Fitness
Mm-hmm.
and to exchange the money in this tank tops, and that was my first sale with Courtsmith
Mm-hmm.
was 300, and I had like 600 something dollars, and I had another shirt, another design ready on deck. And that was, ironically, I still sell this shirt. You know, 10 years later, it was "Don't Smoke Layups." So I had that
Mm.
"Don't Smoke Layups" shirt on deck after the 300. I spent 600 on nothing but "Don't Smoke Layups." Flipped that, and I just
Mm-hmm.
kept, I kept,
Rinse, repeat, keep going,
yeah,
right? That's
yep.
what's up. I mean, how once you got that going though, what was your mindset then since it was working now? Because again, the demand may have started or you started to want to do more. What was on your mind? Like, okay, I'm back in it now. What was the next development stage? Because I mean, you said 10
Mm,
years ago already, man. And people, one thing we always got to say, we know, it takes time to get to where level you're at. But early on, being it's your third time at it, second time at it, we like, okay, now I'm back in. I'm going all in again, like using, like trying to go big, go home, or it was like minor steps. You just kept building it one at a time.
yeah, it was baby steps. Stay humble, and baby steps. Don't because the first time, one of the biggest killers of that business was ego. You know, I think now it's a popular thing now where people saying, you don't got to be humble. But like, humility is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like it's not like humility is not all or nothing. It's like a seasoning.
Right.
So sometimes if
You gotta know when to
you don't
have it.
got, yeah, you got to. Sometimes some people just need a sprinkle.
Right.
Some people need a lot. You know,
Right.
and so I needed a lot because I'm a I can be in. Back then I would be in spaces where I believe in myself. Nobody believe in me. I'm gonna go hard or go
Mm-hmm.
home. Well, humility will at least help you review your plan. All right, I believe you, but let's go over the plan.
Yeah, structure, as we learned, right? Can't just jump in with no life jacket.
Hey, just jump in. Let's double
Yeah.
check the plan. Let's run it by somebody. Let's.
Right.
So I think the second this time was, I'm not in it for no to hit the jackpot overnight. I
Longevity.
want baby steps, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to play the long game. So
Mm-hmm.
and be smart and stay humble and stay to the ground. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope. To see your product, man, on players, male, females, from women's leagues, kids leagues, high school teams now during the season, like not just AU, you're on high school court teams now. How does that make you feel though, as one of the people, the main people who put that together? I mean, how does that make you feel?
I'm grateful. I think that's the first is gratitude. Like it's first gratitude, brother. Like, we don't. Sometimes we always pushing and we want more, like we always do. and it's hard to sometimes stop and like look around and be grateful for how far you got, you know. So first thing is gratitude. Last year we signed NBA players. It blew my mind, like
Mm.
damn, like we got NBA players wearing Courtsmith products now,
Yep.
and just thinking about where we started, where we from, and we got all these kids that that appreciate what we do and that love our products like that.
A lot though too. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's a lot of kids. You go find, especially in Cali, man, everywhere. The Courtsmith logo is on all the uniforms, man. Like I said, I mean, it's ridiculous, bro. Like I said, but it's dope to see. But everybody rock with you, and I'll say this: the people you communicate with, having on staff, but also me being able to drive there and pick up my own stuff and walk in there and see. I'm like, because sometimes you go from other people, they ship it to you. That's it. You don't get no one-on-one conversation with your designers, bro. I'm like, nah, I get to call him on the phone or get an email.
Mhm.
If I don't like, so I get something back to you. I'm like, that to me is everything because it's like it's custom. Like it's a one-of-one kind of experience, man, which I think is definitely dope for everybody who either bought something from you. They get to go through that process and put their own stamp on what they want for their team or their whatever, which is definitely dope, man. Second to
I
none, man.
appreciate
So
that. I appreciate
that's
that.
second to none.
I mean, here's a deal. It's like I, I I have a service mentality. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
gotta serve,
I want
bro.
I want to serve you.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't like I can still be who I am and still serve you. Meaning, like
Mm-hmm.
I want you walking away saying, "Man, that was dope." Or if you're not happy, I want to hear it because then I'm gonna go back to the lab and improve
Mm-hmm.
on it. Okay, what can I do to get better? Because he wasn't feeling it or he didn't like this experience. So every transaction to me is a way for me to get better, good or bad. So it's about service and and to me, the more you serve, the bigger you're gonna get. The better you serve, the bigger
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get. Like it like I it's the first really time I've done stuff like this because really most of the time it's about my staff. It ain't really as much about me as it is about the customers and about y'all. Y'all are the
Mm-hmm.
ones that's holding us up, and you guys are purchasing it. So without you is no
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I meet a lot of entrepreneurs sometimes, and I try to break that from them because they be like have the attitude of like, I'm a boss, and you know what I'm saying, like I'm blessing you with this, and I'm gonna give you this thing, and I'm gonna bless you with it, and
Yeah.
like and in rap that's cool, or in certain genres that's cool to have that persona, but if you're selling a product,
It's about the consumer, man, the
it's about the
human
consumer.
who yeah. Because they can, as we know, they can bring you up or tear your stuff down nowadays. They can tear your whole world down. Then you know what I mean, depending on who they are or what they doing, man. So but I definitely think that I've seen the growth, man. I've seen the process. It's definitely been dope to see it just keep moving, right? Like just from the minute Al gave me the number and it was like, hey, JT got just my boy out here. He was like, he good. I'm like, it's solid. And I was a solid individual. And after that, I was like, oh yeah. And to see that when those things come to like, when kids open them bags or get them, when they come fresh in the bag, everything is just so dope. They're like, oh, this is dope. You don't want to mess the bag up. The bag guy, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice little opening gift. They're like, oh, this is fire. Like to see the reaction on them year after year or whoever else, or when I bring Gary in or other coaches I know, that's priceless too. But that also comes with the investment in the consumer. Like I want them to get that
Yo,
whole experience. Like open that bag
yo,
up, be like, what's in there? Because you can't see it till you open it up and go, oh, this is fire. You know what I mean? That whole experience is dope, man.
yeah, that's a real one. So somebody put me on game on that. So this was like maybe 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me a book to read, and in the book he was saying that if you would say you chill on the beach, you laying down on vacation or whatever, and somebody rolls up with a little cart, with the cold beverages
Mm-hmm.
inside, and be like, "Hey, I got a Corona for you." Then it asked me how much would I pay for it, and it said, $5 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was in my mind, $5. But they said if somebody from the Ritz Carlton Hotel and he walked up with a tuxedo outfit and he had a metal platter with a Corona on it, and
Mm-hmm.
he had a English accent,
Mm-hmm.
and it had Ritz Carlton logos around it. How much would you pay for that same
For a
Corona?
same
And it was
Corona.
like $10. Like my brain
It
went
went
to
up.
$10.
Presentation, everything.
And so it's like, the point it was trying to make was that your packaging and presentation is
Yes,
everything.
sir.
A lot of times we don't invest in it. So
Yeah.
I had to learn that. And,
Yeah.
and we sometimes as Black folks, we come with a certain stigma.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just keep it 100.
Yes.
So about our quality, customer service, our packaging, and everything. And so, I try to go above and beyond to create a different mindset for people, not just for me, but for people that come after me, that we still can do it at the highest level.
Yeah, for sure, man. Give everybody the social media platforms they can find you at, buy stuff at, look for information in, man, right now.
Courtsmith.com. So Courtsmith.com, you can go to the website and buy apparel product. And then if you need team uniforms, there's a team uniform link on there as well. And then we are in Hardwood Palace in Sacramento, and then OGP in Oakland, and then we're building right now OGP in Anaheim right now. So
everywhere,
so
baby.
Hop in, and if you see me
everywhere,
if you see me, like, talk, like, let's chop it up, like, it's good, like we celebrate our culture. With this brand,
and I can go from experience too, man. Again, since having the contact via phone and meeting in person, we had to meet up for the drop off. It's been 100 ever since. And like I said, no sugarcoating on my side, man. It's been, hey, what you need, I got you. Oh, your team, they get to go in for free. They get to go in here and sit in the lounge, at least, in hardwood or something like that, man. All those experiences come with the business too, people. So believe when you invest in the business, you get other perks that some people don't get, or they're not there to give it to you though. So just know when y'all tapping in, man, y'all getting extra things that come along with that business, but also that communication is key, right? That line of communication, yes, no, need this, don't need that, or just shaking hands, saying what's up, man. Because you be out there at the gyms or I remember again setting up table. You got tables set up. You out there. So I mean,
bro, we started off with them tables.
Yeah,
listen, we started off with them tables, and we would pop up in Sacramento. We would we would work 5 days a week, and then that Saturday morning, 4:00 in the morning, drive up to Sac, set up a table for 2 days, and then drive home and then go back to work that Monday. And we would do that in Sac and in LA, because the hustle, you got to
build a
you
brand.
ain't got the resources, you got to hustle.
Yeah, for sure. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So at the end of every show, man, I always ask all my guests, my guy, your triple threat. As you know, in basketball, right, it's drill, pass, or shoot. But for those listening, people who are wondering about the brand, about you, give me 3 things that you personally hang your hat on, that people say, oh yeah, this is Courts, this is what he stand on, this is what he's about, man. Give me your triple threat right now, man. 3 things.
I don't quit. So that's one.
Yep.
If I decide I'm gonna go after it, I'm not quitting, no matter how long it takes. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Second one is I'm a lifetime learner. I'm always going after knowledge. I read about 30, 45 minutes every day. So I go through books. Probably once or twice a month, trying to learn something, getting better.
Okay.
And then the third thing is I love my people. I absolutely love my people, and I'm an advocate for us to elevate as a culture. I love Black people. I love Black boys. I want to help. I want to do my part to help elevate us as a culture economically. And those are the 3 things that really, really fuel.
That's what's up, man. Again, y'all, Courtsmith.com, man. Find them on all the social media platforms. Tap in with them. Refer somebody to them. Send somebody a link for them if they're looking for uniforms, apparel, gear, anything, man. Definitely tap in. Of course, I'm going to post it all on the socials. Tonight, man, halftime, man. I'll open up the website for everybody. You can come grab merch, whatever you want to do. I got a lot of items on there for everybody, or you can just come check out the website, episodes of the podcast. Man, I appreciate y'all tapping in. But, hey, got to ask who you got, man, the finals right now. You got Denver, or you going with Jimmy Buckets? Who you got?
I'm going with Michael Jordan's son. I want him to win a championship, but I like the Nuggets too. But I want Jimmy Buckets to go get some.
It's been a heck of a journey for him. This will be the icing on the cake. He wins this. This will be the best I guess run I've ever seen or heard of in my lifetime. As far as
absolutely
the best run top down. I know basketball is a game of luck too. But still, I mean, just the way he plays, his team, and Pat Riley and Coach Spo, man, and just the consistency, man, the grit and grind, which I love, man. They had grimy bunch of dudes who don't need no respect, but they earning it right now. Getting it, man. They getting it.
And I want to say this.
Yeah.
I think it's a Nuggets team. What they say, or maybe it was a Heat. They said 5 out of the 8 We're undrafted.
Yeah, Miami does like Gabe. Shout out to Gabe
Miami.
Vincent, man. He works out in Sacramento with Gus out
Come
there.
on, man.
Gabe Vincent, a couple of guys. Yeah, undrafted. They got you gotta pay a chip on your shoulder.
I like if you got a chip on your shoulder, that's one of the best fuels, man. So
Yeah.
I definitely want the Heat to win now because of that.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Because I'm all for the underdog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I appreciate you, man, taking time out your day. Keep going, man. Like you say, I know you're not quitting. So, I'm rocking with you. Definitely ready to tap in again early for the season, get some new gear, whatever I need to get. I'm tapping in with you, bro. I appreciate you.
Man, thank you, bro. I appreciate you for having me, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Not a
Thank
problem,
you.
man. You heard it here
Yep.
first, man. Courtsmith, Coach JT, 94 Feet with Coach JT. We out. Peace.
Bangs out.